Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, I'm gonna try to create this clock thing using Sverchok. Everything is gonna be created procedurally, so I have an example here. So this is basically, you know what it is. It's basically like a circle, and then I have this line that's being turned into this skin measure. So it's actually, there's a skin measure, which is skin modifier, kind of working for this line. So I have this clock. So the clock is doing something funky. I think it's going the opposite way. Let me check. Or maybe because of this. So yeah, that's supposed to work like that. So basically, it's very, very basic, but kind of interesting to set up anyway if you use Sverchok for the first time. Yeah, so let's get started. It's gonna be like a super basic clock. Compositing, switch to Sverchok Node 3. We can use circle and Blender crashes itself, and we're gonna start from scratch. It's actually, I think it's my computer. It's the graphic card, and I'm mostly relying on the CPU of this MacBook Pro. It's pretty old computer. Okay, don't worry. Let's continue. Compositing, Sverchok, new, and start with a circle. Gonna do it very, very quickly. So by default, with a circle node, we already have the circle that for our little clock. You can have as many vertices as you want, so that's totally up to you. We can turn it into a mesh right away just by using the skin measure. It works really well for polygon edges. Skin measure is actually skin modifier in the background. If I just click on live, and it will generate this skin modifier for us. Skin measure or skin modifier is very, very fast. It works with 100 or 1,000 of vertices without problem, and you can easily control the radius and maybe even thickness. It's totally up to you how you wanna kind of tweak this. Just give it a try. You can turn on smooth shading as well. That's for the circle. Now let's continue for working on the other parts of the clock. Let's save this as Sverchok clock. For the hand of the clock, we can simply use line actually. And with line, if we just plug this into the skin measure and just name it as hand, for example, you should have this clock hand already. Just adjust the length of the line, and what else we can do here? The next thing we can do, probably just to find a way to rotate the line. So we can use rotate. To make it easy, we can use Euler. And let's try the z-axis. Rotating in the z-axis will give us our clock rotation. So this should work pretty well for us. The funny thing about Sverchok is that if we, for example, if we give like a list input and then provide like a couple of number, maybe 2, plug into the rotation, you actually will get 2 clock hands. And I think this is something that we can use for our clock thing. I'll make it more slender, 0.1. So that's quite nice. Because my plan is to have a couple of this clock, maybe like a 4x6, and I want to be able to control the hand in such a way that we can generate some kind of alphabet or even like numbers. I saw this kind of clock somewhere, you know, like I think I saw it in a hotel in here, where the clock is actually made up of grid. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4x6 grid, and then the funky thing is that the clock actually makes a number based on the clock hand. It's looking something like this. It's very fancy design. So that's the idea. That I want to create something like this. Maybe for now I'll just gonna make a single clock first and then see how it works. So like I said, we can provide list input, and then we can have two hands. If we have like a multiple, you know, have more, we can actually have more hands, which is very, very interesting. It's like if we use time, use frame, plug into this Z, and then the hand will work, even though it's backward, because the hand actually move in positive directions. We actually wanted to move the opposite way, so it should be like 1 minus the frame number. So now we have a proper clock, but we only have a single hand. If you want to have multiple, you can plug in some kind of offset and float range, for example. This is if you want to do it procedurally, and you see we can actually easily generate like a multiple hands clock, which is pretty weird. But yeah, you can actually use this to generate like a wheel as well. So there are endless usage of this kind of a Euler rotation, or yeah. Anyhow, for this we only need 2, so float. What I will be doing is using a float value and join them together. And see if this is working for us. Yeah, I think so far so good. Maybe if we use like a math here, plug the time and multiply it. Kind of we can simulate like a fake kind of clock. For the hands, currently it's like the same length for both hands, but I think we can also use the same kind of trick. Oh, actually it didn't work here. Maybe we need to split it. So yeah, this is it's very much Sverchok thing. You see how we can split two value, and then we have like some kind of nastiness, like a yeah, I think that's pretty good. There's a list split and list join thing. It's a Sverchok thing. If you understand that really well, you can kind of split data and then kind of multiply. This data will vectorize and multiply itself, and everything should work. So this is a single clock. I might actually try to turn this into a monad, so I can actually have just a single module to generate our fake clock, and then I will make like multiple variations of the clock. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah, I will turn this into a monad at some point, and we're gonna continue from there. Thanks again for tuning in. If you have any comments, let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.